They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every month for exclusive programming, where we invite you to go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome to Ask Crystal, everybody, and thank you so much for your patience today. Gosh, gotta love those techno gremlins. Well, welcome to the Breakthrough Show Extra Ask Crystal, a space that empowers you to take control of your spiritual path by answering your questions and curiosities, and offers real-time guidance and support on your current challenges so you too can experience breakthrough moments. I am your host, Crystal Cockerham, spiritual mentor, certified red tent facilitator, and international best-selling author. I work with awakened empathic women to unlock the shackles of pain, shame, and self-condemnation so they can reclaim their sovereignty and liberate themselves from the world's perceptions. You can learn more at crystalcockerham.com. All right, getting more techno issue comments here. So welcome. Who do I have joining with me today? I am going to go ahead and enter into the comments. Hi, Jess. Hi, Angela. How are you ladies today? Jess, I know that you are also a member of my Feminine Wisdom Keepers group, and for some reason I'm getting an error message, but at least I'm live here. Do you think maybe you could possibly comment in there just to let the ladies know? Thank you. So welcome to April's Ask Crystal. I just want to start off with a little celebration on how excited I am about the Ask Crystal intro that is brand new to the show this month. So I just giggled out loud when Jess surprised me with that. So yes, techno gremlins. What do techno gremlins mean? Well, in 3D world, techno gremlins mean that there's things happening in cyberspace that we don't understand, and they sometimes point to something on our end that needs attention in our technology arena, whether it's the computer you're on or your phone or what have you. But oftentimes, even more than that, what I find is that means the energy that you're putting out is really, a 5D or 4 into 5D. Like you're shifting gears. And as everything is energy, those high vibes are creating waves and ripples in the cyberspace, right? So yay, shift is happening. Breakthroughs are on their way. That is what that means and how I look at it. So, when I'm doing like a live or a workshop series, and somebody keeps having to come back because their connection is weak, it almost, I would say, 85 to 90% of the time comes back as it is something, they are going through something and they hear something in the show or in the training or series that really sparks a transformation or breakthrough. So it's just kind of one of those things where instead of focusing on the frustration, focusing on the stretching that comes from moving through it and problem solving. So, Angela, how have you been doing? What's going on for you? And Jess, what is new and grooving in your world? And what would you ladies like to talk about today? I also see that I am joined by others. I am using StreamYard, so it doesn't always show me your information unless you approve StreamYard to do so. So, whew, it has been a whirlwind, hasn't it? I can't believe that we are already a quarter of the way through 2021. It has just been flying by. And all the folks in my realm who I've been speaking to have really been, thank you, Jess, thank you for sharing that, have just been moving through some really, really big shifts of all kinds, sometimes multiple at a time. And that's that, transition. So we talked a little bit about technology and how that can be showing you a block that's been going on in. Angela says, whirlwind is a good term for my life. Happy to be in this positive space. Well, thank you. I'm so happy that you perceive that as a positive space. That is absolutely the intention. So is there anything particular happening in your whirlwind and your world at the moment that maybe you are seeking some clarity on, or maybe you have questions? Because this is what the space is for. It's for you to really gain that clarity. So I just kind of want to, while I'm waiting for the comments to catch up, continue with, how things show us our work in different ways, right? Mysterious ways. So we talked about technology, but then there's also the physical body. And this isn't new news. This isn't new news for the viewers here on Ask Crystal or the Breakthrough Show Network by any stretch of the imagination. But what that means as far as different dimensional shifts and energetic, like you're raising your vibe. So that's like an up leveling. You're shifting upwards. So when you're experiencing those physical discomforts, that's an opportunity for you to really feel into, not ignore, to really take care of yourself and clear what is happening for you on the energetic, emotional, spiritual, like all the levels, all the worlds. And so when you do that, it really opens more space. It clears you, it lightens you so that you can be more fully present in the higher dimensions. Jessica says, I fired my dentist this week. In that process, I had so many realizations. One of which is that sometimes we are frustrated with ourselves when we don't react in the moment to something happening. Wishing, walked out, said something, etc. When it's a win that we are moving forward instead of being stuck. When we finish processing, it's okay to take that moment to process. Absolutely. Gosh, you're preaching to the choir as far as dentist goes here. I've had definitely more than my share of dental work this year. And you know what that brings up for me, because I actually went to a new dentist this year, Jess, and it culminated in a lot of work, and I'm new to orthodontist again, my third round of my lifetime, of this lifetime. And really what that says is, even though I thought I was in good hands and I really liked the dentist that I was going to, I had been speaking to some discomfort that I was having inside. And you know, it went unchecked. There actually was something quite serious going on, and it wasn't addressed. So while I didn't feel like I was absolutely firing that dentist, as I've moved through this, I've had to really reconcile within me, you know, not really forcing the issue that something really was going on. And it needed attention, more attention perhaps than what I was receiving at the time. Just as this was a brand new dentist, third time I've been, and it was like a switch was flipped. I will not be treated the way I was. Oh my gosh, good for you for standing up for yourself. And I'm so sorry you had that experience, especially with dental work. You know, there's no pleasure sensors inside your mouth apart from your taste buds. So everything is perceived as not comfortable and does get very, very painful. Angela says, a lot of health issues for me, and my mom goes for angiogram tomorrow. It's bringing back a lot about the loss of my dad. I was honest with a friend yesterday after a long, hard, emotional change in our friendship. And although I'm proud of myself for being honest, I will likely lose that person. More grief. That is really difficult, because friendships are so important and such a key aspect in our life, aren't they? I'm sorry that you are going through that, Angela. So is the angiogram, is that for heart or brain? If you don't mind sharing, you absolutely don't have to share anything more than what you are comfortable sharing. And yeah, that seems to be a theme. And as I was preparing today, like getting ready in all ways, shapes, and forms for today's show, I was really looking and thinking about something. It's called, and it's this in between, right? Angela says her heart and lungs aren't working properly. Oh, that is scary. That is scary. I'm with your permission. You're always an open book. Hey, that's okay. Not everyone is. So I always want to disclose, like, you always have the right to just say, no, thanks, I don't want to share that. With your permission, Angela, I would just really love to be able to send you some good vibes and to really hold that space for you right now. And I would, for both you and Jess, ask you what you are doing to really help keep yourself clear, right? And paying attention to what is surfacing for you through this, because there is stuff surfacing for both of you. And what are you doing to replenish and rejuvenate? You got it, Angela. You got it. What are you doing to rejuvenate and replenish yourself, right? How are you taking care of yourself so that you can call in, Jess, you know, that perfect dentist who is out there for you and who you need to bring you tooth health, because we definitely need our teeth, right? And Angela, For you, it would be, how can you take care of yourself so that you can be there and present for your mom and for you and your family in the best way that you can? What does that look like? So being able to make sure that you are establishing healthy boundaries. And so I mentioned the in-between, right? In-betweeners. There's a lot of in-between happening right now. In between, children being in between home and on their own, parents' health in my world and the health not going so great. And, being that in between generation to where you're launching and supporting, children on one side, and you're also holding space and taking care of, and trying your best to help, parents on the other, right? That in between stage that seems many of us are finding ourselves in. Hello, Arj. It's very nice for you to join me today on Ask Crystal. How are you today? And just so you know, today is your day. If you would like to join me live on the screen, the invitation is in the comments. And if you have anything that you are seeking clarity and guidance on, this is your opportunity to gain that in real time. Jessica says that her portion is resting, but also being proactive in searching for practitioners who are right for me, allowing myself to be vulnerable and asking for what I need, and know I am 100% deserving of someone who treats me well. You absolutely are, Jess. I love that. And when I see a new practitioner, whether it's a dentist or a doctor or whatever that is in any way, that first meeting, I am very much interviewing and feeling into them, more so than perhaps receiving treatment. Like that first time, I don't go into it expecting a full plan of action, because I've been in the predicament where I've seen a doctor and in 10 minutes I'm like, okay, we're done. You're not the doctor for me, blah blah blah. And then I've had other beautiful experiences. So it's really, really key and important. I love the love going back and forth between you, Jess, and Arj. It's beautiful. Angela says self-talk. Self-talk that I'm not in control of what happens and that I can be there for her, but not fix it. As far as my own health, I am resting more, making appointments to get clarity of what is going on. And now that you mentioned all this, I'm going to journal because there is a lot coming up. Oh, absolutely. Especially when you mentioned, Angela, about how this was surfacing things from when you lost your dad, and then, of course, the interaction with your friend, and maybe not having that friendship again. I would invite you to sit with, perhaps that friend isn't in your near future, right? But allowing and leaving the space open for that friend to continue being your friend and the relationship being healthier for both of you. Because if you had that talk yesterday, that is an ending and a grieving of that friendship and that relationship in that way. But really, really, I invite you to look at that friendship as its own energetic body, and then you and your friend as separate energetic beings, right? So that you can hold the space for a newness to come in. And of course, there is a grieving of a loss of that. So really just kind of sit with what that could be for you. And I know as things that I have been coping with and dealing with have been surfacing, it's bringing up past losses for me to look at and deal with a new layer as well. So, that is absolutely part of it. And it's so hard when it's somebody so close to us to not be able to take control or have any control over what happens. And really, the only control that you have is how you choose to be and respond to it. Jessica hold on. I'm going to come back to you, Jess. So Angela says it's been a long, ongoing thing. I had talked to Jessica about it as well. Good. I know Jessica is an awesome listener. She can hold that space like no other, let me tell you. I had allowed space, change in the friendship, but it is not something I can allow back in. It has become a one-sided friendship. I'm sorry for that. Yes. And so Jess says, I got a reaction earlier when I told someone I fired my dentist, but I used the word as a mindset tactic to remind myself that they work for me. Oh, totally. Yes. Oh, and also that I'm in control. 100%. 100%. My OBGYN, the first time that I went to see him, he literally ran it as if I was interviewing him. And he basically laid it on the line. And he's like, I just want you to treat this appointment as if you were interviewing me. Like, you're going into a restaurant and you're looking at, everything, and say you do or don't like what I have to say, you get the choice. Like, you always have the choice. Right there, I was like, oh, I like this. I've never had this experience. And so over the years, there have been needs for me to see other types of doctors. And he reminds me every time that, okay, this is, what other patients have said about this doctor, but just know it's okay if you don't like this doctor. You just let me know. We'll find you another one, kind of thing. Oh, absolutely. Amazing doctor. Absolutely. Angela says, I hope you find the perfect dentist for your care. You are so worth the proper care, Jessica. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And Angela, you are absolutely worthy of a beautiful, equitable, energetic, loving friendship. In fact, even more than one. Right? You deserve for all of your relationships to be that. 100%. So, Arsh, are you still with us? How are you doing? Is there anything new in your world? And I was hoping Arcturus was going to join us today, because I'd really love to know how things have been going with him since last month. I know that there was some really tender things that he was working through last month that I won't bring up at the moment because he's not with us. But yes, so when I say please keep up with me and check in so I know how you're doing, I really mean it. Oh, sweet. Congratulations, Arcturus, on the new job. Yay. Yeah, so when I say make sure we're Facebook friends and send me a private message, I really do mean it. I know I spoke with him and the other gentleman like within a day or two after the show, but not since then. So there is that. So the in-between generation, how do you manage balance, right? Because the Dr. Seuss Life is One Great Balancing Act has been like, that's my reminder when I start feeling a little overwhelmed or like, why can't this blah, blah, blah. Oh, there's that control. And then I remember, okay, what is this for me? What is here and now present for me? And what can I do to support and move forward the situation? And what do I need in order to make that happen? Those are my little check-in questions, because, you know, life is a great balancing act. And sometimes it's a pretty scary place when chaos comes in and happens. Welcome, Renee. How are you, my friend? I have not seen you in a while. It's good to see you here in the comments. What is new for you and happening? And welcome to the Ask Crystal space. So if there's anything, Renee, that you are seeking any kind of clarity on, or maybe perhaps a little guidance, now is your time, because our time today is coming close to an end. I'm going to go a little bit longer because we had those technical difficulties at the beginning. And I'm sorry for those technical difficulties. And I know that they show up for a reason. So I just want to thank, not that they're listening, but I do want to thank lovely Lauren at StreamYard for helping me get into the space through the chat. You know, it's a little bit of a delay doing it that way, but it's better than being on hold if you call in. So thank you. I started a new job with McLaren Oakland. So during the day, I'm always working. So happy to see you and catch you live. Well, congratulations on the new job. And I am happy that you're able to join live too. Angela says, as soon as I turned my Facebook on, you popped up. That's why. Yeah, that's probably why. It was probably because you were supposed to be like the main energy today, Angela. So if there's anything else hanging out there, I'd really love to know so that I can support you in the here and now. Jessica says, I've been thinking a lot about energy allotment. So we know obviously the side of giving too much energy to the bad things, because we won't want to give it attention and also don't want to attract more of it. However, the side I've been focusing on is what energy are we taking away from the good stuff? Totally. I love that. So you use the verbiage, Jess, of energy allotment. And I tend to refer to it as an investment, right? Like, you have so much energy and it's your choice to invest. So where are you plugging the energy into? And the visual that I get, some people get I've been told they get the visual of like a corporate board meeting, like a board of investors, that kind of thing. But the visual that I get is like the really old, like think of old television shows where there's a phone operator and they're connecting the lines, right? It's like that switchboard, that manual switchboard. So you only have so many lines to where you can connect and plug into. Sometimes it's nice to just pull the plug, recharge, and then consciously, okay, where am I investing my energy? Right? So I am very fortunate that I'm not the only child. I have two younger sisters. And my one sister, she kind of spearheads the mom situation, and I spearhead the dad situation. And then we connect, and you know, and then our other sister steps in, and she comes in. It's so funny. She comes in like a tornado, and she just like swoops in and does everything she can, and then she like swoops out. And she's there, but not on the day-to-day. So All systems could use some tweaking, but that really helps us to be more fully present, right? Like I can be more fully present for one parent. My sister can be more fully present for the other parent. And then, we come together and we do our powwow and we problem solve and celebrate and whine and vent and all of that kind of thing. And that helps us move forward. So when you bring up that energy allotment, Jess, it's really, really powerful to be able to do that. So it's not that you're ignoring a negative situation, but not focusing on the negative of it, but really choosing, oh, I'm going, go ahead and ask your question, Renee. Absolutely. But really thinking about what that is bringing up for you on the inside, right? So it's really easy to get caught up on the frustration of what isn't working, okay? And so then we overlook, why is this not working and why does it make me feel this way? That's where the clarity comes through, is paying attention. I love the love in the comments, ladies. Angela says, Jess, yes, I need to refocus on all the positive. Thank you. Well, yeah, focus on all the positive, but don't ignore the negative. Just really think about how you choose to be, right? And then Angela says, I tend to take on everything and not ask for help. Thank you for the reminder. I can relax a bit and let go. Sometimes I hear it all the time. Well, I can't afford to spend the time, blah, blah, blah. Well, really, you can't afford not to, because what's on the other side of not allowing yourself 15 minutes or half an hour or an hour a day to unplug and replenish? The end result of that is burnout and more disruption, more discomfort for you on the other side, and you can't be there to be the person you want to be if you're burnt out and run down. And Jess says, absolutely. I almost feel like the investment word evokes an emotional response, as allotment is more practical. So I use them both. Yeah, I like the word allotment. Renee's question is, I had a new Reiki client Sunday who had previously been to a bogus Reiki practitioner. The client is young and seems easily swayed. She presented leading with her ego and talking about witchcraft spells, etc. Wow. Okay, so that was interesting. And how did you, what exactly is your question? How did you handle that? Hi, Robinson Prince. How are you and how have you been since last time? I almost referred to you as Robert earlier, and I knew that it wasn't right, so I didn't say your name. Renee says, we talked a bit and I listened. My question to her was, can you truly mix dark magic with pure white Reiki? So that was your question to her? Is that what she came in for? I do not feel one can mix the two. What is your opinion? Well, I don't think I could give an opinion based on that. I think that brings up a lot of different questions. I would want to know it would bring up, good, Robinson. I'm glad you're doing better. Have you been able to resolve anything with your sister? Jess says, my question would be, how does she know it's dark magic? I know many magical practitioners who are not dark per se. It's deep, right? Well, it's a really big question. And for me, I couldn't have an opinion about that. I would want to ask more clarifying questions successionally or succinctly in a row based on her answers, because she could be labeling something as dark magic that really isn't dark at all. It's just uncomfortable. And so it's all about the perception of the person and who they've learned from and how they label things. So she could be totally mislabeling something. So, as far as mixing modalities, we could have that conversation, because you can absolutely mix modalities. I mix modalities all the time. However, I don't dabble with, how could I label this? I don't dabble with anything unknown or that isn't of divine light, guidance, and support, right? In the highest and greatest good. So if somebody is really experiencing deep trauma, or things are coming up, I would proceed very slowly, and I would take baby steps, like the baby who's just learning to walk. Because then there would be a lot there to unpack. And if you go too fast and too deep too fast, you can do more damage than good. But holding that space and allowing them to feel safe to reach out and tap into that safe, supportive, higher light is really building that trust. So I'm sorry that I can't fully answer your question, because, Jessica, yes, Crystal, perception, perspective, experience, triggers, it brings up a lot. It really does. That is just something. Okay, let's talk about this. What is witchcraft to you? What is magic to you? What is dark magic to you? What is light magic to you? Why would you want to, add pure Reiki light to it? What are you hoping the outcome will be? So it's those kinds of things that I would ask in that situation. And that is the best answer that I can give you, because anything further all depends on how those questions are answered. So I hope that helps you a bit. Yes. All right. Well, today was jam-packed with yumminess. Yumminess. So I just want to let you know that I have two announcements. One is tomorrow's episode of the Breakthrough Show. The host, Jessica Dugas, is celebrating Season 5, Episode 10, Lessons in Horror, by welcoming the horror nerd, Kyle Bridgie, and the writer, producer, director of the horror comedy film, Wait, Don't Kill Me, Adam Lippy. So is there anything we can learn from horror films or the process of making them? Tune in and find out. That is gonna be a good one. Or I'm sorry, already is a good one, right? Renee says, when she left, she was a different person. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I love the drama. Yeah. I can really see, like, that's an attention grabber. I love that, Jess. So, I am really excited to share two things. One, I have been super, super busy rebranding and building a new website. So go ahead and visit crystalcockerham.com. and check out all the, I think, cool stuff there. And I would love your feedback on that. And as my celebration, I am also excited to have opened enrollment for a 5-week virtual series, the Intuitive Connection Circle, which begins the last Wednesday in April and will run through the month of May. So not only will you, of course, learn to connect with your higher self and spiritual allies through your intuition, but you will also be able to uncover what has made you feel, believe, and doubt it. And that, my friends, is where all the juice in the magic happens, right? You can do exercises till the cows come home on strengthening your intuition. And if you don't address what makes you doubt it, what makes you feel like you're not connected to it, what makes you believe that you don't have it, then, it's all going to be lying there in wait, and you're not going to really have that connection that you really, really need. So I really invite you to check out that offering. There is a special early bird savings that's available until April 20th. So I would love for you to be able to take advantage of that. And with that, that is a wrap for today's show. So thank you so much for joining me. I am Crystal Cockerham, and I look forward to seeing you next month for another Breakthrough Show Extra Ask Crystal. Guidance that empowers you to align with your inner wisdom and continue on your spiritual path. Until next time, my friends, shine your light. Yay. And again, thank you for joining.